the additional approval, and I haven't heard anybody sort of debate anything about the landscaping strategy, but it seems very clear in which direction this is going. So, all those in favour of conditional approval, please show. All those against? That's unanimous. Okay, thank you. So then, members, we need to have our alternative, which Councillor Cheadle.
Well, I was going to suggest our explanation of refusal is it contravenes the MPPF.
And equally, as part of in the call-in was to do our own policy, which is policy Dev 21, which does talk about development affecting the historic environment. I'm not proposing to read the whole policy out. It does talk about significance, character, and setting, local distinctiveness, heritage assets. So which we justified, yeah. So that is on. Come on, let me get the right paragraph. There we go. Paragraph 4, where harm to designated and non-designated heritage assets can be justified. Applicants will be. Oh no, that's about the excavation and recording. No, I had it just now. Do all else. Is that different to mine as well? Yes, please, if you would.
So part 2 of Dev 21 says great weight will be given to the conservation of the plan areas designated heritage assets, and as a reminder in this instance that's the designated heritage assets is the conservation area and the setting of the listed chimney and the bridge. Great weight will be given to the conservation of the plan areas designated heritage assets where development proposals will lead to any harm to the significance of the designated heritage asset, they must be fully justified against. And then it goes on to talk about public benefits and the demonstration of reasonable efforts to sustain existing uses and find new uses, mitigation, etc.
Okay, does that make sense to members? Yeah, okay.
Also the lack of any.
Yes, harm in the conservation area, sorry, go on.
The lack of any. The lack of any plans for redevelopment coming before our animal hospital.
Yeah. Okay, which again is on, I think, paragraph 3. Or it's actually it's paragraph 104, isn't it, with the MPPF? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, paragraph 4 of the MPPF.
Chairman, I wonder if I could just beg a little bit of indulgence. Can I suggest that rather than us try and draft the reason on the who's and come up with a jumbled version potentially, can I suggest we take 5 minutes just to put some form of wording down so that everybody is then comfortable with what they're voting on? We got the paragraph numbers correct.
Okay. Yeah, if we just adjourn just briefly just to allow that, or pause proceedings just to allow that for a moment. Yes. Your patients, in particular those who are watching on the live stream, might wonder what on earth is going on. The formal wording is just being put together based on what members have said, so as we feel that we've got a clear proposal to put forward.
Apologies, Chairman, but I think I've now got a form of wording that hopefully sums up members' views correctly. I think what members are proposing is it is considered that in the absence of suitable replacement proposals, the development would cause significant harm to the character and appearance of the conservation area and to the setting of the listed buildings. As such, the development proposal is considered to be contrary to policy Dev 21, the joint local plan, and the relevant paragraphs of the SP supplementary planning document to the JLP, and paragraphs 196, 196, 199 to 207 of the NPPF. So shall I read that again? It is considered that in the absence of a suitable replacement proposal, the development would cause significant harm to the character and appearance of the conservation area and to the setting of the listed buildings. As such, the development proposal is considered to be contrary to policy Dev 21, the joint local plan, the supplementary planning document to the joint local plan, and to paragraphs 196 and 199 to 207 of the NPPF.
Thank you. I'm happy to move that. Is there a seconder?
Happy to second, Chairman.
Members, is there any debate? Then all those in favour of those reasons for refusal, please show. That's unanimous, Chair. Thank you very much. So that is refused for those reasons. Thank you. Okay, as we come to the end, we still have just a couple of quick items, which is planning appeals update on page 43 to 44. These are mostly appeals that are lodged, I think, but I don't know if Ms. Edison Smith has anything you want to draw members' attention to. Yes, sorry, I beg your pardon, I've forgotten they were out. Yeah, let's just pause while the other two members came in. Apologies, I'd forgotten they were not here. Thank you both for your patience. We're just moving on to item 6 on the agenda, which is the planning appeals update. Senator Smith, was there anything you wanted to draw our attention to on this?
Thank you, Chair. Nothing in particular, only to note that they are all just lodged at the moment. There are no decisions on this update. And none of the ones that have been lodged on the sheet in front of you were committee decisions. They were all either delegated office or member delegated. So I have nothing in particular to draw your attention to on this particular agenda.
Any questions on that? No, nothing. Then we move on to item 7, which is the update on undetermined major applications. The usual caveat, excuse me, that this is just literally the progress or process rather than discussing the merits. And if any members have any questions, Mrs. Smith will probably need to take them and get answers elsewhere. She may not necessarily know them. Councillor Cheetham.
Could I just ask for a sort of progress report on 3652, the Plymouth Road application? We're waiting for the 106. Just wondered how it's getting on.
Just you for Mr. Devon.
Thank you, Chairman. My understanding is that progress is being made, that there is a draft in circulation between the parties, and I know that there was a meeting fairly recently to iron out some of the details. As yet, I'm planning to speak to the external lawyers to find out if they have a timetable for completion, but I believe we're not far off. So I suspect it's imminent.
Okay.
Any other questions? Councillor Rackham.
Yes, thank you. And my question is to the top of the sheet, which is the Woolen Grading Mill in 4th Street in North Taunton, 291519 FUL. Particularly as we have the Conservation Officer here present, the concern locally is that this is a very old building which is fast deteriorating. People are going into there, cutting down or removing pieces of ancient structure, and they are quite worried about the detail about the condition, and really this application is not progressing fast whilst the building is equally deteriorating fast. Thank you.
So is your question relating to how soon that this will be moving forward?
Yes, Chair, it is progress. It's down as estimated date is 31st of March. Well, it's been going on for lots of reasons, but I am concerned that in the meantime that building is going to fall down, and that's not what the residents of North Taunton want.
Are you able to give a response to that?
The condition of the building has been a concern for well over a decade.
Indeed.
And I have on a number of occasions recommended that we serve urgent works notices on the building, and at no time has that advice been taken up. As regards to the actual applications, the information provided is simply inadequate to reach a positive recommendation as much as we want to see something happen on the site. And could I say, actually, as a matter of record, I visited the site a couple of weeks ago, and the owners have now removed the Harris fencing, which was a requirement of building control. And I've notified building control of that fact, because that at least had signage on saying this was a dangerous structure and that people shouldn't trespass and do so at their own risk. But I am aware that young people in particular are using it as a haunt and putting themselves at risk. So it is a serious matter.
Chairman, I've had discussions with the Conservation Officer about this, and I fully agree and know his position, and I would support the action he mentioned earlier of taking that. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on how they're progressing? No, okay, lovely, thank you. In that case, that brings us to the end of the agenda, and leaves me just to thank you all very much indeed for your time and all for your contributions, and declare the meeting closed.